Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We have a very special guest today, Cornell Thomas. He is a thought leader and just a general, like all-around positive guy. Love this.
So nice to meet you.
Yeah,
TED Talk, mini documentary. You do positivity summits. What's up?
And a TV show coming out.
Yeah.
How many hats are you gonna wear?
Probably 19.
Just for today.
Yeah, just for today.
Yeah.
And 2 young kids, so it's just it's a balancing act.
So can you start from the beginning?
Sure.
Just tell us a little bit about your journey, because you've had a lot of adversity,
a
lot of triumphs, but we want to hear the sort of the story from.
Yeah, so for me, it starts when I was 3 years old. My father was a police officer in the city of Passaic, New Jersey. Bobby Thomas, he passed away from cancer. So my dad passed away. He left my mom the task of raising 5 of us by herself with no money. So one of my brothers is autistic. So if you know anyone on the spectrum or have someone in your life that is autistic, you know that is like raising more than one child. So I was raised by this 5'2 1/4" lioness named Tina Thomas. And she just instilled in us that, you know, everything happens for a reason. And whatever you're going through, it's gonna pass. So I started, you know, just looking, every time my mom is around me, I kind of get choked up, because it's like, you don't realize what you've done for me. You've made me the man who I am. And it's for my brothers and my sister, they say the same thing. So my journey started in life. I didn't know my father, so I didn't have a connection. So I didn't want to be a police officer. So I just went through like 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, nothing. I had no idea what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when I was 16 years old, I discovered basketball. No one in my family played basketball at all. And I'm in Bird's Nest, Virginia. My mom's from this country girl. She's from Bird's Nest, Virginia. It's a population 4 people. I'm related to all of them.
All from a bird's nest.
All from Bird's Nest. Don't look it up. You can't find it. And I'm sitting on my cousin's bed, and I look under his bed, and he has 100 newspaper articles. In the front of all those newspaper articles, he's dunking a basketball. And it says, Carlos Taylor scores 27 points and win. I've never knew that they put kids in the newspaper for basketball. So I read every single article, and I said that day, I'm gonna be a basketball player. And so we drove back to New Jersey. I got this little Pizza Hut basketball, rubber ball. I walked 3 miles to the nearest court. My son's old enough, I'm telling him it was 10. And I looked at the hoop, and I said, fame, girls, this is gonna be great. Threw the ball up and went over the basket.
I'm gonna need some practice.
I'm like, wait a second, I suck at this. So I'm sitting there and I'm just wondering, what am I gonna do? I'm really bad at something I just fell in love with. And this little 5'8" Korean guy comes walking towards the court. I swear to you. And he goes, my name is Ray, do you want me to show you how to shoot a basketball? So just picture this, 6'4" black dude, 5'8" Korean guy. He shows me for the first time how to shoot a basketball. And what he did in those 2 hours changed the course of my life. If it wasn't for Ray, I wouldn't be here. My first book, the 2nd chapter, is called Ray, because he gave me something that's priceless, which is just time. And he wanted nothing back from it. And I've only saw him 3 times in my life. And that was the time that he came down. It was raining, he came out to the court and showed me how to shoot a basketball. So I got cut from varsity my junior year, got cut from made varsity my senior year, because everybody does. The team was terrible, I could barely play. After high school, they have a list of all the kids that are going to colleges, Coastal Carolina, Syracuse, and my name was blank, because we didn't have any money for me to go to college. So I sat down and talked to my mom, and my mom said, baby boy, which she still calls me to today, she goes, baby boy, I can't afford to put you in college. I said, Mom, I'm gonna work 2 jobs, I'm gonna go to junior college, and I'm gonna figure it out. So I took a year from school, I worked 2 jobs, went my freshman year in junior college, played basketball, first time in my life I ever got in the newspaper. It wasn't me, it was my boy. I was behind him. I was like, put it on the refrigerator. And then the second year, it happened. First team all conference, first team all region, all these accolades. And everybody sees where you land. They don't see the process. So they had no idea. Like, while you guys were going to parties, like my junior, senior prom, I watched the limousines drive past me as I was shooting on the court. So I got a scholarship to play in North Dakota. Met my wife there, she's from Seattle. Had 2 good seasons there. Came back home. I'm playing with all NBA guys that play overseas, and I'm like, I'm 4 years removed from getting cut from varsity. But I was like my mom. I have this work ethic that's just absolutely insane. So I get a contract to play in Europe, Lisbon, Portugal.
Professionally.
Wow.
And they said, Cornell, you have to leave in 168 hours. You have to leave in a week. And right before I was supposed to go, I ruptured my Achilles tendon.
Oh my God.
And so I'm sitting there, and to this day, that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I can't remember. I just remember Thursday being wheeled in for surgery, Thursday evening being wheeled out, and then by Friday morning, my contract was voided. And that Friday was the hardest day of my life, because my mom walked into my room, and I saw her kiss, she kissed me on my forehead, and watched her walk out to one of the 3 jobs I told her she'd never have to work again. So I felt like such a failure. And like when I talk about it, I still feel it in my chest, and so long ago, because this woman means everything to me. So when she walked out, I was upset. I was in complete, like, why me mode? Why is this happening to me? I do right by people. I'm nice. I work hard. And I just started thinking about my mom. I started thinking about days where we'd come home and the lights would be cut off because we couldn't pay the bill. My mom would just walk in and start handing out flashlights and lighting candles. Or we come in, we wouldn't have any hot water. My mom would just boil cold water and make it happen. She's solution-based. And she raised a solution-based son. So what am I going to do about it? Like, what now? Right?
You can't just live in that anger and that resentment.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do? So it's happened, right? So anytime adversity happens to you, it is already passed. As soon as it happens, it's already passed. It's already happened. So worrying about it is like, it does nothing. So that next day, I called my buddy up and I said, listen, Kev, I said, pick me up on Monday morning. And he goes, why? I said, I'm going to go to the gym. He goes, how are you going to go to the gym? I said, just pick me up. In the next 6 months, I shot from a chair. And then I was able to get a crutch. I shot from a crutch. And I was able to work myself back. And whatever you believe in, God, the universe, whatever it is, you get signs that you're not going down the right path. And I went to Birmingham, Alabama to a pro camp. I'll never forget it. And one of my buddies who was actually from LA met me down there. And the camp was ran very, very poorly. And the first day, they kicked 2 guys out of the camp because they were fighting and all this other stuff. The last day of camp, we were walking out of the gym to the shuttle bus. These guys that kicked out came back in with guns. We go on the shuttle bus. These guys start shooting up the gym. When I go to my hotel room, my light is blinking. And someone lost their life that day. I was 2 minutes away. And so I started getting these signs like, see, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. And then opportunity came in the form of my old coach at junior college. He was the athletic director, and he goes, hey, Cornell, the coach just left. He's like, do you want the job? And I said, absolutely not. So I'm 26 years old, and I can still play. So I put him on that big chip I had on my shoulder. Everybody told me I couldn't do something, he used to put him on that chip. And then this guy cared about me. He wanted to see me do something with my life. So I said, no. My mom said, Cornell, just go for the interview. I can't say no to Tina Thomas, she'll beat me up. So I went to the interview. I'm sitting there like this, all defiant. I was on a Friday. On Monday, I had a whistle around my neck and 15 guys calling me coach. So I started coaching basketball. And then I started seeing that it wasn't about me playing basketball, it was about me helping other people. So I opened up a business training kids. And there's this little girl, Grace, she was in 5th grade, and she made this card for me at school, and it said, my hero on the front. And I opened it, and it said, I love you, coach. And I started crying. And I was like, where are these feelings? Like, what is this coming from? And when you're on your path, it's effortless, right? It's not saying that there's not going to be effort involved, but it's effortless in terms of it's a seamless transition. So helping people to me was seamless because that's just how I was raised. My mom always said, take care of your little sister, take care of your brothers. So I ended up going to Blair Academy and coaching. You know, they had NBA guys that went there. And right before my son was born, Bryce, who's 5 years old, I started to have a shift. Basketball wasn't the same. I still love it, but it wasn't the same. Like, we lose games and I wouldn't be up all night fixated on why we lost. I was just like, I think there's something more. And I'm on Facebook one morning and I'm reading my timeline, and it's just the most negative garbage I've ever seen in my life. It wasn't even during an election, it was just negative that day. And I said, man, people set their day with this nonsense. I said, what if I just took a quote out of this book of positive quotes and put it out there every day? So I started doing it. And even the drama bombs started to like it. The people that are always about drama, they start to like it. And I wake up one morning, it's like 5 a.m., can't find a book anywhere. Looking all over the house. My wife is like, what are you looking for? I said, I need that book, I gotta put the quote out. Go in front of the computer, I make my own quote. People still like it. I said, screw the book. I said, I'm just doing it. So why don't I just do it myself? What do I need a book for? So I started doing it every single day, and 6 months went by, and one of my really good friends goes, Cornell, man, I love your quotes. Where do you get them from? I was like, well, actually, I make it myself. And he's like, you should write a blog. I said, that's great. What the hell is a blog? And he goes, it's this thing. And so he sets up this WordPress site. And I write my first blog. It's called Risk. It's terrible. And so I write my first blog. And I started doing it every Saturday. And then a couple months go by, and I tell my wife, I was like, I'm gonna write a book. And she goes, how are you gonna write a book? I was like, I'm gonna ask Google.
You can find everything on Google pretty much.
Ask Google. Yeah. Google knows. So I said, Google, how do you write a book? And Google told me the way. So I wrote my first book, The Power of Positivity, Controlling When the Ball Bounces. And as soon as I wrote the book, I said, babe, I gotta share this message. I gotta share my story with people and let people know that there's hope. She goes, well, how are you gonna do that? I was like, I'm gonna put speaker on my Instagram and my Twitter, my Facebook. And I did that. And a good friend of mine said, it says that you're a speaker. I said, well, that I am. And she goes,
Act as if.
she goes, will you go to my dance studio and talk to 14 of my employees? I was like, yeah, where? She's like, oh, it's right here. I was like, okay, cool. I go there. They're all eating. Now, if you're a speaker, that is the worst case scenario. When someone says, come and speak during lunchtime, immediately say, can we wait? So they're eating loud, 14 of them. And I'm speaking. And my only goal was to be so impactful that they stop eating. Make them put their freaking sandwiches down. So I start really going. And they start to put the sandwiches down. I'm like, oh, I have something here. So then I started going out and speaking all over. And it was like that movie Yes Man by Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Were you? Yep. I don't care where it was. Yep.
It's Jeslyn, actually. She's the female version.
Well, I did it for everything. Does that get dangerous?
Yeah.
I don't want to end up in a dumpster. But like, I did do it for speaking. You gotta be careful, girl. I'm worried about you right now. Mom, you have all the right to be worried about Jeslyn. Not everything. But I was saying yes to all the speeches, and I was just going out. And then next thing you know, I'm in Vegas, and then I'm in Wisconsin, I'm in Michigan, I'm in England, I'm in all these different places. And people are like, well, who's your PR person? I'm like, this guy. Who's your agent? This guy, right? I believe that I'm doing my purpose, and I'm relentless. My mom ingrained in me, just whatever you want, just go after it, and that's why I do what I do.
What is your purpose?
My purpose is helping people realize they have one. That's my purpose. We have millions of souls on this planet right now that believe their only existence is to just take up 100 years, 80 years, whatever it is, and pass on, and that's not the truth. And that TED Talk on March, and it was all about purpose. We're all here for a reason. Think, you're 1 in 400 trillion. Why are you here? Do you even ask yourself that question? The answer is most people say no. So my purpose is letting them realize, no, you were here for a reason, my man. Now what do you gotta find that mission and then go live that mission. Now your purpose could be just taking care of your house. It doesn't have to be some grandiose thing. Everybody's not gonna save the world. My mom's purpose in life was to make sure that we got through. We got through. And now I'm going to do this on a bigger scale. Mission accomplished, Tina Thomas.
Right. Your purpose is to find your purpose, as they say. So
Yeah.
beautiful. So now you've got all these things you're up to. Tell us about the Positivity Summit.
Okay, so I was at a Tony Robbins event in Boca Raton, 2015.
Who gave you an amazing endorsement, by the way.
Yeah.
In itself, a huge feat.
Yeah, big shout out to Tony for that. So I'm at the Positivity, at the Date with Destiny in Boca Raton. And this is how I got there, which is crazy. So my book first came out, there was a woman that was retweeting a lot of my quotes. So I messaged her, I was like, not to be super creepy and slide in your DMs right now.
But I'm sliding into your DMs.
But I'm sliding in your DMs.
But I'm here.
Hello. What's your mailing address? And she goes, Sinsit, and it's in Vietnam. And so I send her a book. I don't tell her I'm sending a book, I just send it. And then a week later, she posts this big thing. Thank you to author Cornell Thomas. Me and my husband were having such a rough time, and this changed our lives. Thank you, Evan. And I was like, that's beautiful. That's 2013. So flash forward to 2015, and I'm doing a basketball clinic. I come out at my basketball clinic, and I have a message from Evan. We become friends. And she goes, Cornell, I want to ask you a question. And I go, yeah, what's up? She goes, if I paid for you to go this Date with Destiny, would you go? I said, no, because I know the price. I was like, so it's not cheap. So no. So I was like, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
So I was like, I cannot put you and your husband out like that. She goes, as easy as it was for you to send that book, that's how easy it is for me to send you there.
Wow.
So I go, obviously I can't call my mom first because my daughter was 6 months. So if I go somewhere for 4 nights, I'm gonna die. My wife's gonna kill me in my sleep. So I called my mom. I said, Mom, could you stay at our house for like 4 nights? And my mom's like, yeah, baby boy, sure. Then I call my wife. This is the life hack, husbands. And then I call my wife and was like, hey babe, yeah, I got this like opportunity, and Mom said she'll stay. So she was like, didn't you write down you want to meet Tony Robbins? I said, yeah. She goes, go. I said, dope. I'm gone. Yeah. So I go down to Boca Raton. I have $100 in my pocket, 100. I spoke in Vegas the weekend before, and I know way better now. They didn't send the check, so I wasn't getting until next week. So I have to be in Boca Raton, which is a very expensive, ritzy area, for 5 days with $100. $40 to get my car out when I land, so I have $60. $20 for the shuttle from the airport to the hotel. So now I have, I don't know, somewhere around $40. The lady that brought me there, after she said, okay, you can go, I get a confirmation from the Waldorf Astoria. I only knew the hotel because of Annie, right? $3,800 confirmation she paid for.
Oh.
My book's $1,150, just so you know.
A lot of books.
So I'm like, whoa. And so then I get a confirmation from Tony Robbins' people about the tickets, a diamond something ticket.
Oh.
$9,999. So my book came back $14,000 because I just gave without expecting anything back. So I tweet looking forward to going to the Tony Robbins event. I get a direct message from Tony. And he goes, as you know, I retweet a lot of your quotes. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Oof.
So I contact my friend. I'm like, yeah, the person that does his Twitter hit me up. She goes, no, he does his Twitter. I said, oh, okay. So we're sitting there, and he asks a question. It's 3,500 people in the main room. Humans don't make me nervous. So I was like, I know that. I'll answer this one. He literally turns and points to me. So I stand up. We have this 10-minute conversation about the first time I started speaking. So that's how the connection started. And then when I left, I wrote him and said, thank you so much. It was a great event. I was like, I want you to write the foreword to my next book. Why not?
Why
Take
not?
your shot. I don't care. Like when he says no, I'm in the same place I was.
You're already at the Waldorf.
Yeah.
You're on the $9,000
I'm ordering
ticket.
room service.
High five.
Room service for me is usually like going down to the complimentary breakfast and getting a bagel and walking back out. You know?
Another one in my purse. Lunch.
Not my purse, but my pocket for sure. I mean, whatever you do. So he hits me back right away and he goes, contact my executive assistant. Like right away. So I contact the executive assistant, like as I'm reading, I'm like already emailing her. She goes, we're filming I'm Not Your Guru. I'll be back with you soon. 3 months go by. I message her again. She's like, oh my gosh, Cornell, I'm so sorry. She's like, I'll contact you next week. 3 more months go by. My book's already done. Book's been done for 7 months. I tell my wife, I was like, I am not putting this book out until I get his endorsement. A year later, I get it. Then I put the book out.
Wow.
And it all stemmed from me giving a book to a woman in Vietnam that I didn't know.
Just
And that's how it happens. And that's why you give. And that's why you give with no expectation. Because there's going to be some author somewhere that's going to ask me for an endorsement. And I might just fly down and endorse their book to them from what's happened to me. A great story about giving. My mom, I have a sister that's 2 years younger than me, Alicia. And Alicia, I don't know if she got possessed this day, but she was asking my mom for something more than you asked Tina Thomas for something. Like, she would say no. And when she says no, it's like, okay, that's a wrap. Okay.
pushing the envelope.
Yeah, don't push the envelope. We're coming back from church, mind you. And we're sitting there, and my sister's like, Mom. I'm in the front seat. I'm in 6th grade, my sister's in 4th. I'm looking at my sister like, you're about to die, right? My mom's like, Alicia, we don't have it. I had $20 in my pocket because I worked at the church the weekend before, and I was gonna buy a laser tag gun. At 20,
Laser tag was kind of high.
it was hot. Yeah, it was 1999.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So I had 20.
Yeah.
So I had 1 penny left. So I had this $20 is burning a hole in my pocket. And after my sister said, something else, my mom said something. My sister went, like, you don't do that. So I was like, all right, I have to save her life. So I take the $20. She said, Alicia, here. And I just give her $20. And my mom looks at me. And my sister's like, thank you. And my mom goes, Cornell, that was very nice. Alicia, what do you say? And Alicia said, thank you. And then we have nothing money-wise. And the next week, I'm sitting in my room. My mom comes in the room, and she puts $40 on my dresser. I go, Mom, I said, I only gave her 20, because I know we didn't have it. And she goes, when you give, you get back double.
This is love.
Tina.
She is the bomb. She is the
incredible
bomb.
mother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And watching her with my kids, man, so I just sit back. Like, I just sit back and just.
So you did the mini
Marvel.
documentary on your mom?
Well, it was about me, but my mom was in it. And then they did a big, like a 16-minute one that was about me. I always try to bring my mom in it. So we did our first Positivity Summit in New Jersey. I asked my mom to drop the kids off, which she didn't know that I was going to read a chapter of my last book it's called Tina Thomas the Great. It's about her. So I said, can you drop the kids off at the Positivity Summit? I would love for them to be there the last day, at the very end. Because if I told her what I was doing, she wouldn't have came. So she comes in, I said, oh yeah, just Mom, could you just sit in the front for a second? Guys, this is my mom. Everybody starts clapping for my mom. My mom is looking at me like, so she goes and sits down, and I attempt to read this chapter called Tina Thomas the Great to my mom. I start crying. My mom started crying. I only seen her cry 3 times in my life. She starts crying. Everybody's crying. But the best part of that is when I finally got through it, I got up and gave my mom a hug, and everybody came and hugged my mom. And you hear this expression a lot. People don't get the flowers when they can still smell them. I wanted my mom to know the impact that she had on my life. And when people started hugging, I talk about now, I got to like take a pause. People started hugging her just to see her in that, you know, and just like let go and like realize like, hey mom, you did some amazing work here. Thank you. You know, that was one of the biggest moments in my life.
So wonderful.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And now you're giving it back in all ways. So we're excited to be involved, excited to get involved. Tell them again where they can find you, where they can find the summit,
Sure.
the work.
So the Positivity Summit's in it's Cornell-Thomas.com, and I'm Cornell Thomas across all social media. Cornell Thomas 34 on Instagram, that was my basketball number. But Cornell Thomas on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and when you hit me up, I hit you right back. I always message people back because I think that we meet for a reason. How's a New Jersey guy here with you beautiful people today? You know, so it all happens for a reason.
Good
It's a
for you. You
bird's
must not
nest.
sleep. You must not sleep. You respond to all those people.
Yeah, I'm doing
amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. So appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
thank
Thank
you
you
so
for sharing your
much.
time
Great.
and
Thank you.
with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more. Good morning, LaLa.